A low-budget 1920s ripoff of Dracula ended up becoming one of cinema's most respected vampire movies. Now, a big-budget remake is setting the bar even higher. We'll sit down with Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe, and the extraordinary crew of Nosferatu.
This isn't the fight!
As we get closer to award season, a darling has arrived. Nickel Boys, a cinematic masterpiece, already stacking up the nominations and wins. We'll go behind the scenes with its breakout stars and the director who's breaking all the rules with amazing results as we take a look.
Yeah, we will. Taking a look right now, our first show of 2025. I couldn't be more excited. Starting off with something awesome. I don't know if you had a chance to check out Nosferatu on the big screen, but cinematically, it is gorgeous. We're going to be talking about that. Also, an Oscar contender I'm really excited about. But first of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Happy New Year to Kelly Savannah Deaton. How are you?
Guys, good. How are you?
You also had a big birthday since I saw you.
I did. I turned 21.
Congratulations on that. Finally, you can start drinking.
I know.
Already started. Joking. All right, so let's talk about Nosferatu. You saw it on the big screen.
I did see it on the big screen. I am a huge fan of Gothic horror, and I'm happy they're bringing it back. However, the pacing was a little slow, but the performances were epic, and that's why you should go see it.
Yeah, that's funny you should say that, because if you think about it, it's brought to you by the same person who brought you The Lighthouse. This is someone who takes time telling their story.
Indeed, they do.
I had a chance to catch up with the cast, and we'll talk about Lily Rose Depp in just a minute. Her co-star Nicholas Hoult, I've loved in a lot of things. Not his first brush with the afterlife, if you think about his movie Warm Bodies. Anyway, we talked about the beauty of this. Look. Congrats on this.
Thanks.
Have you seen it with an audience yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
It was great to see it with an audience because you
watched it in Berlin?
I watched it in Berlin, and like feeling people's reaction and the tension, and hearing like people kind of jump.
Yeah.
You could really tell when people were holding their breath as well. But also, this is embarrassing. I was sitting next to Rob during the premiere, and afterwards he was like, "Oh, you were breathing kind of heavily through this bit," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. It's something I haven't realized I do." I'm like a stage mum for myself, and I was like acting along.
You do your own
I was
thing.
encouraging myself from the seat.
You're like, go ahead, Miss.
Like,
You got this.
go on.
I feel like
Slip it
I
on.
found myself doing that too. Like when I'm like smiling in a scene, I'll find myself kind of smiling.
You're trying to
along.
perfect the smile,
Yeah,
and,
and I'm
and
like, and then I'm like,
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay, good.
But there's something so pure about that, because like a lot of actors go, "Oh, I never watch myself. I dread watching myself." But it's really, when you see all these artists and all these departments getting together, isn't it kind of fun to try to disappear into it like everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially with something like this, like Rob is such a phenomenal world builder, and he, builds these worlds that just suck you right in. You almost like, I was saying to my friend Marie, who like came to watch the movie in Paris the other day, I was like, you're gonna feel like you're on a ride almost at Disneyland or something. Like it feels like it's immersive in that way, where it feels like your whole body almost is like pulled into this world. And so for this one especially, it was just so fun to watch.
And to be part of Rob's journey, if you think about it, like he was a kid doing this in high school.
Yeah.
It kind of launched his career. To be a part of that.
Oh, that was what was so special about. I mean, obviously, any chance to be in a Robert Eggers movie is incredible. But to get to tell a story with him that he's so passionate and so personal to him, and he's been dreaming of telling for so long, that was kind of what galvanized all of us on every level of the movie, behind the scenes, to just really try and bring his vision to life in the most perfect way we could.
And so many of these scenes are like, I want to frame them and put them throughout my house. Is there one scene or one moment that on the day you said, "Oh, this might be one of the most epic things I've ever been a part"?
Oh my God, it's so hard to pick, because this really is a movie where I'm like, every single shot looks like a painting. And I was saying this to Nick, like I find myself, like when I've watched the movie, I find myself thinking like, how did Rob and Jaron accomplish this, even though I was there for a lot of the time? It looks, it looks so incredible. It's so masterful. I can't think of one moment to pick. It's so hard.
They're all, I want them all.
Because they're all so beautiful. Honestly, the carriage ride sequence is so beautiful through the mountains and everything. The moment where you're walking on that road and it's kind of like a cross.
Oh, yeah, the crossroads.
It's
Yeah, that's very beautiful. Yeah.
They're so cool together. I want to see them,
They are.
speaking of slow and drawn out, after all the torment they've been through, I want to see them in a rom-com. They'd be great
That would
together.
be amazing. mean, that would be amazing. And I love her. I love me some Lily Rose Depp. And if I was Johnny Depp's daughter,
Yeah, what would you be like?
I would do anything and everything I could. I mean, come on, Johnny Depp's daughter, the world is her oyster. Come
She's
on.
such a class act. If I
She
was Johnny Depp's
is.
daughter or son, like look up a Florida man arrested today. That shot, that's what I would look like if I was Johnny Depp's kid. All right, coming up next, let's keep it going, Nosferatu. We got to talk about the ancillary cast. Willem Dafoe is great in everything he
Yes.
does. This is no exception. And Robert Eggers brings it as director. Why this movie is the way it is? Because of him. We'll talk about that next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look, and thanks for watching. If you're watching on AFN in 177 different countries and territories worldwide, thank you for your service, and thanks for watching the most amazing show ever, as far as you know.
Definitely the most amazing show.
All right, that's Kelly Savannah Deaton. Follow her on Instagram. I'm Mark S. Allen. We're talking about the movie Nosferatu in theaters now. You need to see it on a giant screen. Robert Eggers brings big, beautiful cinematography.
Yes, he does. And there's no one like him that can manage practical effects and CGI, and in one scene he used 5,000 rats, you guys. 5,000 rats, live rats.
Yeah, it is insane. Take a look at the 1920s inspiration for this. This was a low-budget movie made in Germany, super low budget, and then it was sued by Bram Stoker's family. They said, you really just ripped off Dracula and slightly changed the names. We're suing you. They won the lawsuit, and so the movie went away forever. All just copies but one were destroyed. Then it was brought back to life, became a cult classic. Thus, that's why we now celebrate with this new Lily Rose Depp. Inspired some great scenes in here. I don't want to plot spoil, but her exit, the third act of this movie, she really brings it with a lot of drama taking place.
She brings all the drama. Yes, she does. And she's so elegant, so it's hard for an actress of her caliber to just get in there and get gritty and get bloody and just not to plot spoil, but she is amazing in this.
Yeah, I just saw a little sample of Willem Dafoe's work in it. He is great as he is in anything. Anyway, I caught up with Robert, your director, and Willem to talk about it. Look.
Gentlemen, good to see you. Where do I start? Where do I start? You know, when you're kids and you're playing make-believe and then you turn this into a career, isn't this the kind of stuff you want to be doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, to your point, you know, when we're in the rehearsal room ahead of time, like it does feel like doing theater when you're a kid or playing when you're a kid. That is like the one of the things that I love about my job. It's just so rewarding to still be playing there, you know?
And what it must be like to be this guy when he says doing theater as a kid, because didn't you do this as a high school play?
I did.
And then professionally they came out to you saying that was so great?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, Nosferatu has been like a large part of my identity as someone who's trying to make creative work. So this film itself took 10 years to get off the ground. So yeah, it's very exciting to finally have it out in the world.
Good things take time. So the Lighthouse reunion here, I'm about to cry because of this. This is so beautiful. Obviously, you liked enough to come back.
That's right. That's right. He gives me a good setup and gives me talk about play. He gives me good things to play with.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And challenges and a beautiful text. Beautiful. He always writes. His language is beautiful, and how rooted what we're doing is. He is such detail and such discipline, and these long shots that are so beautifully designed. And as an actor, that really provides you with a beautiful structure, because that becomes the thing that really focuses all your energy, because not only are you thinking about what your character has to accomplish, you also have these technical obligations and the dance with the camera and the dance with the other actors, because there are these long takes with no conventional coverage. So there's nothing to cut to. So everything has to work as a piece. And the benefit of that is that you have this long, you know, this fluid, the rhythm finds itself through the writing and through the performances and through the place. And that's, I think, also what roots the movie.
Yeah, when you want to talk about theatrical, I mean, it plays like you're looking at a proscenium at times. And how many times have you nailed the performance? In your mind, you and your peers probably thought the same, but then someone decided to hack it up, cut it up, had to condense it for time. You know, in these oneers, you are pure.
I don't quite believe in nailing. It's a relative thing. You never nail anything, you know. You just, that's true. You got me there. You know, you go towards something, but there's never really perfection, and that's That's the beauty of our profession. There's no nailing it, really. But you go towards this thing, and there's all these moving parts, and it has to all work together. And the beauty of that is then everybody has to work together, including the technicians. And the technicians become as important as the actors, and everybody has their part, and you really feel it. And if that sounds, sentimental and Pollyanna, it shouldn't. It just reveals how collaborative movies are. And then you've got him at the helm, and he's a guy that doesn't delegate stuff. He has a team that works with him, but his fingerprints are on everything.
And with that, is there a moment where all of those departments played in unison better than you could have imagined? You're sitting in Video Village saying, it's never going to get better than that.
Every day. Every day.
Feel like you're being political to your own self.
Well, you're always trying to bite off more than you can chew to stretch yourself to get better. You always want to not quite have achieved everything, so you can reach for more for the next film. But yes, I mean, I'm really proud of what we accomplished here.
Keep doing it. Can't wait to see what you two do next. It's you.
Says bite off more than you can chew. I keep thinking about, what did you say he had on one of the sets? The biggest scene, the biggest practical effect was?
5,000 live
Yikes.
rats. Who does that?
It looks so good in this movie. And Willem Dafoe, I love this guy.
Yes.
Like his voice, it sounds like he's been gargling with butter and thumbtacks. I want to have a voice that cool when he goes, you never nail anything. Coffins. Well, you got me there, kid.
Yeah, that was pretty good. High five to you. High five.
High five
That
to you.
was good.
All right, so quick review of this movie. What happened to your boyfriend during it?
Okay, it's not for everyone. I turned and I was like, oh my gosh, did you see that?
Awesome.
He was sleeping. So it's not for everyone, but for you at home, go see it. It brings gothic horror back, and the cast is phenomenal.
And I took my girlfriend. She just turned to me and said, like him, you need to trim your nails. All right, coming up next, let's switch gears to a much more important movie. It is already nominated for all kinds of awards. It will go on to be a darling at the Academy Awards. Nickel Boys, Pulitzer Prize-winning book, now a major motion picture, and why it's different than anything you've ever seen before. We'll talk with the cast and crew next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. It is our first show of 2025. I'm Marcus Allen. Thanks for hanging out. Kelly Savannah Deaton, hello.
Hi, guys. Hi.
All right, shifting gears to a movie that is infinitely more important than anything we're going to talk about for a while. It's already an award season darling. Will go on to be nominated for Best Picture. I guarantee
100%. 100%.
Based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning book, we are talking about Nickel Boys. If you don't know the story, maybe you could jump in.
Yep, it's about boys that are sent to a reform school in the 1960s in Florida, and they have the most harrowing experience possible. You can't even imagine how horrible this is, and this is their story.
Yeah, the trailer shows you a way this movie is different than any movie you've seen, in that the entire movie, for the most part, shot POV. That means one character's eyes is your camera, switching to the other character's eyes is your camera. Ramel had that vision early on, and we talked about it. Look.
May I get a wide shot over there too? Thanks. All right. I'll let you get your nutrition
No, I'm
going.
good. I'm good. I'm ready. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Mark.
I know you've had the accolades. Congratulations in advance on all the love this movie's going to get.
I appreciate it. I'm thrilled to be in this conversation.
What does the ride feel like to be at this point, from the moment concept hit your lap?
It's actually unbelievable. It's not something that you think about when you're in the process of making the film. And then, for me to be here is to always go back to the source material and the decisions that were made to sort of elevate the Dozier School story and the facts of the story into Nickel Boys, through Coulson, and here. And it's like, this story has an opportunity to be sort of calcified in cinema history, and that's an amazing thing.
All right, this is a huge, hard swing deciding to do it POV. And it's so amazing. It makes it more than a movie. And at what point did you say, I've got to do it that way?
It was the first idea. Right away, after setting down the book, I called my co-writer, Jocelyn Barnes, and, asked her what she thought about the idea. She immediately, I don't want to say approved it, but was like, oh, that's interesting. And the conversation started and never looked back.
And it's made all the difference. Did you have any, I don't want to say pushback, but were any of the actors or anybody behind the scenes going, how are we going to make this work? And
no, I think we were lucky that everyone was open and vulnerable, and I think interested in playing. There was a lot of, we brought a lot of joy to the set, I think, given the difficulty of the topic. And so, of course, there were some challenges, because when you read the script, it's clear that it's POV, but there's nothing technical in it to let you know exactly how it's going to be done, so your imagination can run wild, but
Right.
everyone handled it, I think, deeply professionally and exceeded all expectations.
We've got to talk about these two guys carrying the torch in this. Just amazing performances from these two. At what point were you in Video Village watching it go down saying, we got it, this is it? Or was it the moment you met them?
The moment I met these guys, I knew via Zoom, via the casting tapes, I knew that each one of them was the one, and as did the rest of the producers. Was not in Video Village because I also operated with Jomo Frey and Sam Ellison, and so, we have this really interesting ecosystem of conversation over headsets while the other person's filming and checking in with each other to see what we noticed and what we wanted to change. As you can imagine, on the day when you're shooting it, there's a lot of touch that goes into ensuring that you're not being too much human POV and not too conceptually POV.
The movie's become a part of me. Like I've had this certain feeling since the moment I walked out of the theater having seen it that didn't get shaken until I saw the guys smiling. It was just so nice to see them.
That's really cool.
Happy. And what do you hope audiences take away?
Yeah, I think I'd like for people to feel like they had an experience. The same sort of experience you have on a roller coaster for the first time, in which you kind of want to go on it again so you can see the landscape while having the feelings. I think, to me, it's important to give people experiential things inside the context of Black stories, whatever Black means. And that kind of opens up your relationship to yourself and I think cultures that are yours and or not.
Well done, sir. Well done. He's in pre-production on his next film, and this movie, his choice to make it first person to where the characters are looking straight at you because that is the other character looking back. Historical pieces like this of importance, you get it. No matter how well they do it with costume and design, they work, but they keep the audience at a distance because you're not first person. When you're looking first person, it draws you in. You really feel like you're there in the moment.
Yes, and you get that extra level of empathy, not just sympathy. And Ramel Ross, we're going to see him go far and beyond, and he is going to be nominated for Best Director. I guarantee it.
You saw at the beginning of that interview while he was snacking, I was actually directing the cameras there. Did you see?
Did I see? Everybody saw, Mark. Let's not do that again. Let's just nip that in the bud. Let's let the directors be the directors in these
All right,
movies.
I'm trying to wrap up here. Coming up next, we're going to continue the discussion on Nickel Boys, why this movie is important from the aforementioned two people bringing it to life.
Woo.
Your lead actors that will both be nominated for Oscars this year. Join us next. Hey, there you are. Welcome back. We're talking about Take a Look, which is a show where we talk about movies that are important, whether they're on a big screen, small screen, or even streaming series. But right now, continuing our Nickel Boys discussion.
Yes, very important film. We have to keep it going. Let's keep talking about it.
Yeah, Ethan and Brandon. Remember these two guys you're about to meet? They are going to go on to be nominated for the Academy Award for either
100%.
supporting or best actor. We'll wait and see who's going to be nominated for what. They are brilliant in it. I caught up with them to talk about it. Take a look. Gentlemen, I got to shake your hand again. I am so glad to see you. And let me tell you what I love now, seeing the two of you together.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though you are together in our minds, we don't get to see you together so much.
True. That's true.
Yeah. Except in that moment. There.
That one scene. Yeah.
In that scene.
Yeah.
It is epic. It is amazing. It makes the world a better place. Why do you think it makes the world a better place, this movie?
Oof. I mean, it's shot with so much beauty, and I mean, the friendship. And the way that these two characters are able to conflict and also change each other and grow each other's worlds through their relationship. That's why it makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
Neither of you are rookies. You've done some great work, but this had to be a unique challenge, shooting the POV, the first person. What was the hardest part about that?
Kind of losing the other person, in a physical way, not being able to look them in the eyes and kind of connect with them in that way. It was a big adjustment to make, and we had to kind of rely on the work we did beforehand. And when we ran the scenes together in a trailer or just before we went and shot, it was relying on that work and then just being as present as possible and knowing that the other person was physically there. You just couldn't really look at them.
Yeah, I was going to say, on the day, are you just off camera, just behind camera?
We're very close to Gemma Frey, usually our cinematographer, camera operator. We're just kind of like huddled over his shoulder. Right. Very close, yeah.
So many actors that I talk to that do theater say that one thing that they miss is just knowing that when they're on stage, they know the performance they're giving, that's it. That's what sticks.
And with this, I guess, with those one takes, you know, this is your performance. It's not going to be manipulated, cut tight, anything. That's
they
it.
still cut it. But I mean, because we do the oneer from like one person's perspective, and then we do the oneer from the other. So, but it's interesting because you get, in a different way, you'll get different pieces of the oneers.
Yeah.
And like it's interesting the way it plays with what this film is, like memory, present kind of. So you get these different tones, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And like I get to see it every time I see the movie, like there's a different feeling to it.
Right.
As for to answer your question earlier,
Sorry.
I think that's great. I've been saying the White House scene was a really difficult one to shoot, but another one that was also pretty difficult was the sweatbox scene at the end of the movie. That one, that one was tough space to go to for that period of time, and I'm very glad that had a really good support system, and Ramel and Brandon, our on-set counselor Kim, just a lot of like resources to help kind of get pulled out of that place after we were done shooting it.
All right, we got to wrap it up. So lightning round, quick questions. See this movie because?
Yes.
See this movie because?
It's great.
And?
Because it's inspiring.
As are the two of you.
Put me on pressure with the lightning.
Thank you.
I was their first interview. I guarantee you, like, by now you say, see this movie because they'll talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love it though. You can tell.
Ethan and Brandon, those names, you're going to see them Academy Award season, all of the award season. My Movie Critics' Choice Awards, I guarantee. See Nickel Boys in a theater, though it will be streaming on Prime.
And after that, you can even read the book.
Yeah,
You should read
exactly.
the book.
Pulitzer
But
Prize-winning
see the
book
movie,
for a
yes.
reason. Makes the world a better place. Get to know. All right, talking about something a little less important, but something people are talking about right now, the new Superman movie.
Dun, dun,
Next
dun.
week on Take a Look, we're going to be talking about that and showing you scenes that you haven't seen before. I am a James Gunn freak deep, so I can't wait to see this Superman.
I am too, but based on the trailer, I'm kind of excited about the dog.
Next week, exclusive interview with the dog. Maybe I'll see what I can do. Anyway, have a great one until then. Thanks for taking a look.
Take a look.